dismissal was issued. As the resident of Kawempe in Lubaga Parish, Kawempe Division, a businessman dealing in land filed with the accused person. The defense played that this court finds the suit is substantial and leaves the accused person on bail. The state presented by Mr. Kawempe and Mr. Ivan Chaze opposed the bail application to their submission that the suit is not substantial, that Mrs. Ronald Florence was of advantage of 67 years and therefore unable to execute her duties as a surety. That Mr. Henry had no identification documents and Mr. Ssenyonyi Emmanuel was just shocked with no cash with the accused person. That the resident of the accused person is not clear, as he has two homes, one in Kawempe, another in Gombe, Matuga, and yet brought to court only one identification document from Kawempe. That all the suit is not demonstrate that their capacity to pay the non-court bond if the accused person absconded. The issue is whether or not the accused person has satisfied the conditions for grant of bail. It's settled law that if the accused person has a constitutional right to apply for bail, which court can in exercise of its discretion judiciously can grant or refuse to grant the said bail application for reasons. See section 20, article 23, sub-article 6A of the Constitutional Republic of Uganda as amended. I've addressed my mind to Article 28 of the Constitutional Republic of Uganda on the right to fair hearing, which includes the right to presumption of innocence. I have further addressed my mind to Article 23 of the Constitutional Republic of Uganda on the protection of personal liberty. Article 23, sub-article 6B states, where a person is arrested in respect of a criminal offense, in the case of an offense which is filed by the High Court as well as the subordinate court, if that person has been on remand for 60 days before the trial, that person shall be released on bail on such conditions as the court considers reasonable. It is this Article 26, sub-article 6A, which introduces what has come to be known as mandatory bail. I have examined the record of the court. I find that the accused person took plea on the 22nd of May 2025. Today, the 23rd of July 2025 will be 61 days in custody. The trial has not yet commenced. The state has not yet disclosed to the defense. In my view, he is entitled to mandatory bail under the provisions of Article 26, sub-article 6B of the Constitutional Republic of Uganda as amended.
That finally, Noah Mitala, also known as Noah Mutwe, has been released on court bail. The challenge, though, is that the conditions for the bail are a bit exorbitant. You know, when you ask an ordinary folk like Noah Mutwe, pay 5 million shillings cash, it's not right. You know, it doesn't augur well for the dispensation of justice. Okay, for Noah Mutwe, yes, as leaders and so on, we can, you know, and as a party, we can work it out and clear, and we have cleared to see to it that it gets to be released. But how about ordinary folks who frequent these courts of law, who will come and then you're telling them, pay 5 million shillings cash and so on? It really is exorbitant. You know, justice should not be at so high a price, especially because this is an allegation. This person is innocent until proved guilty. Besides, you have agreed to give him bail. Why make it exorbitant? But we are glad that finally he has gotten the bail. What's most instructive? Noah Mutwe was abducted and eventually charges were preferred against him, saying he was inciting violence and also promoting hate speech against certain members of the first family, Mr. Museveni, his son Muhoozi, and some other leaders. And that's the same thing we have seen for many other people, Madubala and others, who are in jail for a very long time, that they spoke ill of particular leaders and so on. Now, how does that make sense that a person like Muhoozi will attack, because he has attacked us as leaders? You, I will hang you. You have a big head. You're very stupid. He has used all manner of grotesque words. And then he has derided women. He has all manner of things. Now, when he goes on social media and is deriding us as leaders, people will respond to him. Now, those that respond to him, they get raided and rounded up, and they bring them to courts of law. Justice should presuppose that what's good for the goose should be good for the gander. if you are locking up the Noah Mutwes, the Madubalas and others, saying they are promoting hate speech against people like Muhoozi, when is Muhoozi going to be brought to court to answer for a similar offense? In fact, for him, he does even worse. He says worse things than some of the people who have been brought to court saying they have talked ill of Muhoozi and his other relatives. That's the problem we have with our, our justice system. Otherwise, there's no way you get to convince people that Noah Mutwe, Madubala and others were locked up because they committed an offense if those who are committing an even worse offense are not brought here. That's the justice we want to see. Except if they want to tell us in very clear terms that, no, for people like Muhoozi, for him, he's above the law. He can abuse anybody that he wants to abuse. When people respond to him in similar manner, for them, they've committed an offense. For him, he is above the law. We want to hear that and get to know that for him, he's untouchable, he's above the law. Otherwise, what's good for the goose should be good for the gander.
Thank you.
Our colleagues' freedom regained today. We welcome you back, Noah Mutwe. We are so humbled by this. It has been the grace of God. Of course, we know that judiciary is a spoiled one. What the country is going through needs prayers from all over. To all of you who have wished Noah Mutwe well, who have prayed for him, the President, our dear Lord, the Secretary General, all well-wishers of NUP, all those that are standing on the side of the oppressed in Uganda, thank you very much for demanding for Noah Mutwe. He's finally out, and we are happy about that. About the cash bail that is now becoming rampant in the judiciary. Of course, we know it is an ATM machine for the country, and we know it is a sign that we no longer have freedom in the country. But I want the government to know and note and remember that freedom of speech, freedom and human rights is given by the Lord, not by anyone's mercy. So they should know. Even the Constitution of Uganda states it very clearly. So they need to know that. But nevertheless, we welcome back our colleague from detention. At least he's free now. Thank you very much.
Kkooti ewasooka okumumba bail terina kumibwa muntu mechanically olw'okuba state erowooza teyanteereddwa. Obuvunaanyizibwa bw'okugaana okuwa omuntu bail against a constitutional command, kkooti erina okuteekawo really ensonga ez'essimba, terina kuteekawo ndowooza yaayo nga bwe twalaba olwasooka. Omukisa gwe tufunye mu kino nti kkooti eyongedde okuggumiza bulijjo kye twogera nti abantu bakwatibwa nga tewali nsonga, nga tewali bujulizi, naye ebbanga lye bamala nga tebannaweebwa bail ne babanga basaavinga ekibonerezo. Okuggumiza amaanyi n'amakulu ga presumption of innocence olwaleero kibadde ky'amakulu nnyo mu mateeka, okubeera nti nno omuntu ateebwa olw'okuba state eraze nti tenaba kwetegeka kuwuliriza musango, ekyo nakyo kya ttendo. Katusuubire nti ne matters endala kkooti bwe tunuliranga embeera ezifaanana bwe ziti yeeyambise issue ya presumption of innocence okuba nti eta abantu, so si nga state bwejja ng'ewakanya bail ng'etwala omuntu ng'azzizza omusango. Tukisanyukidde ekyolwaleero, tusuubye nti kinaakola ne ku balala. Nti ateereddwa olw'okuba nti abadde aludde mu kkomera naye nga ne state tennaba kuba ready for trial, ng'ate n'ennaku ezo ezirambikibwa mu mateeka ziggwako, ez'oyo zasobola okubeera actually nga ziweddeko, ez'omuntu asobola okukwatibwa n'akumibwa mu kkomera ng'okwozesebwa tekunnaba kukola ki kutuuka.
Oba akkiriziddwa okweyimirirwa newankubadde ekisooka conditions muziwulidde, bamusabe $5 million. Oyo muntu bawasuubira bagenda zijjawa. Era ffe ng'ekibiina ffe abakoze eki abazitaddeyo nga bulijjo bwe tukola kuyambako ku bantu baffe. Naye kaakati imagine ng'omuntu wa bulijjo omuntu wa bulijjo abeera eyo abeera agenda kujjawa ssente bwe zityo omusaba $5,000,000 so nga mumanyi olutalo ne bwe bagamba nti omusango bagudismissiz oba bagobye mumanyi olutalo abantu baffe lwe bayitamu okufuna ssente ezo okuzibaddiza so ekyo tukivumirira nnyo n'ekirala nti ensonga eno etuta obudde bungi nnyo tekyali badde bwe kityo naye ogenda kwesanga nga abantu baffe bangi nnyo babeereyo ne bakandalira mu makomera nga tebaweebwa bbeeyiru kyetulowooza nti kimenya mateeka kityobola eddembe ly'obuntu n'ebirala bwe bityo muganda waffe oyo nga bwe mumanyi talina musango gumusibya byonna obiwulira mbusimanyi omupolisi tulina yamwinsaitinga kati you can imagine bwe yamwinsaitinga mbu akwate peva agikube mwami Museveni kati egyo misango gya kikaki gyosibira omuntu ebbanga eryo lyonna lyonna so ekyo tukivumirira naye n'ekirala kankose guno omukisa okwogera ku bantu baffe abalala abali mu makomera kubanga kati Noah Mutwe ye at least afunye bbeeyiru naye mukimanye nti tulina abantu baffe abali ekitalya bamachete bakato umalu tulina abantu baffe abali Masaka ba Edi Mutwe n'abalala abali ku bisango sanga bitategerekeka naye ebbanga lyonna lye bamaze mukomera muliraba era gye buvuddeko nga bakansi bajja bagamba batuwadde date eyabo ab'e Masaka ne bagamba bagenda kukomawo nga 14 ez'omwezi ogw'omunaana naye laba ebbanga eryo lyonna lye bamaze mu kukomera kati nga Edi Mutwe ne bamutulugunya ne bamutuusa ku mbeera eyo naye abalamuzi ekitongole ekiramuzi ne kitamulwerizinga ku bbeeyiru oba oli